Jack Kippenberger could not be present this evening. He began chemotherapy Monday and currently has a compromised immune system. Judy Wolgamott will deliver Jack's acceptance remarks.
This is an honor to present Jack's words to you, and the best way I could decide to do that was share some of the emails that he's shared with myself and other friends of his in the past few months. We just relocated him like last October. You know, he's been all over the world, so. Anyway, these are some of the emails, and if no one can hear me, if anyone can't hear me in the back, I want you to raise your hand because I don't want anyone to miss this amazing story. I arrived at Northwestern barely a 19-year-old kid from the farm in Thomas, Oklahoma. I credit Northwestern with giving me an opportunity to mature and develop and become prepared to meet the rest of my life. Coach Art Parkhurst gave me a scholarship and the opportunity to play football and get my education. For that, I will always be grateful, and I have the fondest memories of Coach Parkhurst and the teammates and friends I made during that period of time. My life after Northwestern began with brief stints in school teaching in Medicine Lodge, Kansas, Topeka, and Overland Park, Kansas. I then attended Washburn Law School, worked the midnight shift as a deputy sheriff with Shawnee County, and then was drafted into the United States Army. All this took place between January 1965 and January 1968. I entered the U.S. Secret Service in January of 1968 and remained there for 30 years, retiring in 1998. During that 30 years, I lived in Washington, D.C., Kansas City, Houston, West Palm Beach, and finally ending up in Miami, Florida, the last 12 years of my career. What a great experience. Miami had satellite offices in San Juan, Puerto Rico, Bogota, Colombia, Brazil, and Sao Paulo, Brazil. So I had a full-time job just traveling from one office to the other. I woke up every morning thinking I was the luckiest guy in the world to be doing what I was doing and not putting up 100-pound bales of alfalfa hay in 100-degree weather, as we did as kids on the farm in Thomas. Immediately following my retirement from the Secret Service in March of 1998, I began working with the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association as a security consultant, making advanced preparation for Billy's crusades and also those of his son Franklin. Their needs were along the same lines as those I dealt with in planning presidential events and trips with the Secret Service. Billy attracted huge crowds at his crusades, and it was my job to manage those crowds and the traffic control problems of moving large numbers of people and vehicles safely from point A to point B. They are fine folks. Travels with Franklin have taken me to Peru, Bolivia, Honduras, El Salvador, Panama, Mexico, Chile, Argentina, Paraguay, Brazil, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Canada, Nova Scotia, Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong, China, Ukraine, Moldova, Romania, Estonia, Latvia, and all throughout Africa. The only reason I mention all these countries is because this is the only reason I've not been back to Alva for any homecomings. Following 9/11, I was brought back to work for the government as an independent contractor with the Department of Defense and sent several interesting places to do stuff that made other countries like us. That's supposed to be all that I can tell people that I did. But now that I've terminated that contract, I can say that I was with the CIA in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Morocco, Kyrgyzstan, Yemen, and some other places that when I got off the plane, I looked around and said to myself, man, this is a long way from Thomas. As for me, I've had the greatest life experiences any farm kid from Thomas, Oklahoma could ever dream. 4 years of college football, 30 years with the Secret Service, 6 years with CIA, 10 years with Billy Graham, and most of this time living in sunny South Florida playing golf every day I'm home. This dream life was put on hold last August 2008 when I found I had stage 4 esophageal cancer that had spread to my liver. I began very aggressive chemotherapy and radiation on 9/11/2008. That treatment ended in March with all scans indicating that the cancer cells were gone. I was optimistic that I had beaten this beast and could return to a normal lifestyle. It didn't work out that way, I'm sad to say. The liver tumors returned in full force between May 2009 and August 2009, and I once again began the same rigorous regime of chemotherapy on 9/11/2009. I prayed for the same results, but only God knows on this one, and I've got lots of faith in God. I will not be able to travel to Alva to attend the banquet next Saturday. This was 1 week ago today. As I feared, my latest blood work and MRI reveals the cancer again growing. I returned to chemotherapy Monday with possibility of new surgical procedures to attack the largest tumor. So that's it for my dream trip back 45 years in time. I was hoping to share the spotlight with OU quarterback Sam Bradford. We have lots in common. We both have roots in Thomas. Sam's great-granddad owned the hardware store there from the 1940s to the 1960s. His grandmother was a graduate from Thomas High School. Sam and I both made second team All-State by the Daily Oklahoman. We both wore red jerseys and white pants as college football uniforms. The only really significant difference is that Sam will probably be selected first in the NFL draft, while I face the possibility of being passed over by the NFL for the 46th consecutive year. I love Northwestern. I love my time at Northwestern and all the friends I made during that period of my life. Nothing could make me happier than to be there with those friends and share fond memories. No matter how many miles I've traveled or will travel, Oklahoma will always be my home. Thank you all for thinking of me. I am honored with this award. I will not give up attempting to return to Alva for future celebrations. Please express my regrets to all attendees and guests, and send a warm hello to Jim and Mary Holder. And on behalf of Jack, that's his message to you tonight. If any of you would like to contact Jack, see me after the banquet, and I'll give you his email and where you can contact him, and you can give him your words of encouragement. He needs us. That's it, Jack. Go Rangers.